Let me just stop. Thank God I learned how to edit because that was real bad. I thought I heard something, and earlier today I came home and the sink was on in the bathroom, but I didn't turn it off. Oh, it's a car. But yeah, I got home and the sink was on and it freaked me out because nobody was home. I was the last person to leave. Anyway, let me get on with the video. I said I was gonna do an updated version of the tinea versicolor thing, and I was getting frustrated because it seemed like it wasn't getting better. I don't remember when I made that video. I think it said 5 months ago. Okay, yeah, so it was like in October-ish, I think. September, October-ish. So that's when the summer would be over and it would be like at its worst. Yeah, I feel like I've had this issue for like the past 2 years. It started on my forehead. I thought it was eczema, but I feel like it was probably that. In the wintertime, it's always faded. For example, right now on my back, you can't really see anything. In my chest, there's not really many spots on it, but in the summer, my back, I have a picture, I know I do, I'll put in a picture. Yeah, so it looks really bad, but I'll put it in. I went to the dermatologist to get it looked at because I was like, this is disgusting. People were like, is that a birthmark? And I was like, no, it's a fungus. Personally, I don't really want white spots all over my skin. I feel like I'm being listened to. Whatever. But I will tell you about my dermatologist experience and what the actual dermatologist said. So they gave me this brochure called Tinea Versicolor, and I will read you some of the key points in it if that is interesting to you or helps. Let me just explain what it is. So basically, the dermatologist told me, and this is gonna sound gross, she said there's an overgrowth of yeast in my stomach. You can't cure it, but you can treat it. So I eat terribly. In order to treat it, I have to be gluten-free. I can't eat sugar, and she said, like, for people who are legal to drink, you can't drink alcohol because it makes it worse. Wheat, soy, gluten. I'm just gonna stick with gluten. That is a big wasp. No gluten, because bread, yeast, and all that. Don't eat that. No sugar, no soda. Which is hard because it's the only thing I eat. But yeah, so I haven't really fixed that. But it hasn't been summer again yet, so when summer hits, I'm gonna need to start or else my skin's gonna be splotchy again. But this is gonna lead into the next thing I'm gonna tell you that my dermatologist said. The dermatologist, she gave me yeast pills. She only gave me 5. It was so bad that she said that she's gonna give me 5 and she wants me to take 1 each day for 5 days. I did that the first time, but it was the winter, so I didn't really notice anything because it was still kind of faded. I couldn't really tell. But then I went back for the 6-month checkup and she gave it to me again, but for some reason I just told myself I wanted to wait and save them. And I'm glad I did because each summer I've noticed that the first time I'm really in the sun, the first time I go to the beach over the summer, I'll get burnt. And then on my back, and that's when the spots start. And then after that, it's like I don't get burnt. I have olive skin. My dad's Italian, so I get the Italian genes, so the sun doesn't really affect me bad. I won't burn or anything. But the first day in the sun in the summer, I do. But besides the point, that's always when the white spots have happened. For spring break, I went to Puerto Rico, and I decided to take the yeast pills to Puerto Rico with me, and I took them each day I was there. I was only there for like 6 days, I think, and I got burnt since it was the first day I was really in the sun of the year, and you can tell that something was there, but it's nothing compared to what it would have been, except I don't know if this is tinea versicolor or just because I peeled, but on my arms, you can see, and last year it wasn't really on my arms, but this kind of looks like it. And it's on both of my arms going down, but it's not as pale. So, because usually when I've had it, they were white. But if you look, I'm gonna try to get close. But yeah, it's not really like white. But so she gave me the yeast pills. Those really worked. I didn't peel on my back or anything. I remember last summer when I burnt on my back really bad. When it started, I peeled. And it was as if the skin over the tinea versicolor just peeled off since I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let me just get into the rest of the things she gave me. I haven't really used them that much, but she gave me this lotion. Oh my gosh, I feel like a YouTuber. A real one. This stuff. Alquertin A gel. But I'm pretty sure it has to be prescribed because I had to go through like this process of getting it. I think, oh my gosh, it is green. It's green. I forgot about that. Yeah. It smells like paint, like kids' paint. But I don't know if it works really yet. I used it for like a couple weeks straight. I put it on every day. She told me you're supposed to put this on a couple times a day. But it was on my back, and I don't have somebody to put this stuff on my back twice a day, every day, you know? So I didn't really use this, but in the summer, if it comes really bad, I'll probably use it either way, even if the spots aren't here, because I do not want it to come back. But anyways, so yeah, she gave me this. She gave me the yeast pills. I'm pretty sure I threw it away. I wish I would have kept it. But I'm pretty sure the pills were like for her yeast infection. I think. I'm not quite positive. But she gave me those. And I mean, it worked. I was in the sun every day for a week, and I don't really have spots on me, so. This is for last winter. I got, like, my scalp got really dry. This went away, but then my scalp was an issue, and I told her that, and she kind of said that it, like, in the winter, it, like, went to my sounds so disgusting, so fun. Yeah, so that happened in the summer. It was like on my actual skin. So I didn't use this. I don't know why I'm smelling everything. Okay. This is for your hair. But this winter, it wasn't bad. Like, my scalp wasn't like how it was last winter. So I didn't really use it, but I just kept it just in case. Let me get back to this, though, because I feel like some of y'all would be interested in some of the things that this says. So they have like a little picture of it, and it says, we all have yeast living on the surface of our skin. When it's hot and humid, yeast tend to grow more quickly, and overgrowth of yeast can cause tinea versicolor, a common skin condition. But yeah, she said it gets better over time, but you can't cure it. You can only treat it. Tinea versicolor also may be referred to as a common fungal infection because yeast is one type of fungus. Although tinea versicolor is a fungal skin infection, it is not contagious. She also told me you can tell if the yeast is active or not on your skin if you scratch it and it like flakes off. But when I went to the dermatologist, she did to me and nothing flaked off. It was just like you could see it. So she was like, it's not alive, but it's still showing. But I do get really tan in the summer, so maybe that's why it was so distinct on my skin. What does tinea versicolor look like? The first sign is usually small spots on the skin, which are generally lighter than the surrounding skin. Sometimes the spots are darker. The spots may be tan to pink or very faint. Some spots are scaly. Sometimes the affected skin itches. Mine never... Actually, that's a lie. I remember like up here itched a little bit for like a week-ish, and I think my chest did too. It says sometimes spots are scaly. That just means like if you scratch it and like it gets like scaly, like flakes off. Spots develop on oily areas of the body such as the chest, back, shoulders, and upper arms. Yay! I'm gonna cry. I really was like, no, it's just because my skin peeled. It's not from that. I don't want it to spread. I'm so scared it's gonna spread, but I'm gonna try to do better with eating less gluten and yeast and stuff. Oh yeah, and it was like, you might be able to, it's like white. So I thought it was spreading on my face. Like, right there, kinda. Oh my god, my lips are so chapped. I apologize. You can never go wrong with Blistex. All better. Back to where we were though. Something just fell, and I don't know what it was, but it scared me. Okay, back to the video. This fungus prevents the skin from tanning, so pale spots become more noticeable as the skin tans. This is especially noticeable on dark skin. As the yeast grows, the spots can combine and form patches of lighter or darker skin. Okay, and then it says, who gets tinea versicolor? They have a lovely picture of a nipple. The yeast that causes tinea versicolor lives on everyone's skin. It is not clear why the yeast overgrows on some people's skin and not others. We do know the following. It says people who have oily skin, such as teens and young adults, get tinea versicolor more frequently. Children and older adults rarely develop tinea versicolor unless they live in a tropical climate. Oh, somebody asked in the comments, they were like, do you live at the beach? No, I live a couple hours away from the beach, but I wish I lived at the beach, but I don't. They probably thought that because I was wearing a mermaid shirt, but I love mermaids, so it's probably where you got the idea from. Anyway, back to what I was saying. People who live in a tropical area can have tinea versicolor year-round. Those living in non-tropical areas usually see tinea versicolor disappearing during the cooler, drier months, which is... And I've been a lifeguard each summer, so it was like each break I'd get in the pool because it'd be hot. It gets hot. So I'd get in the pool, and my bathing suit looked like a sports bra, so it covered a pretty decent amount of my back. So it was like my bathing suit would be wet like the whole day, or like damp. And then I'd be sitting in a lifeguard chair with my back against the chair, and when she told me how it happened and if it's in a humid environment, your skin, it made sense because my back was just, it couldn't dry. It was in a shaded, hot kind of area because my back's against the chair. It's not like it has sunlight hitting it to dry it off. How is it diagnosed? Dermatologists can often diagnose it by looking at the skin. If dermatologist needs to confirm the diagnosis, the doctor may gently scrape a bit of scale from the affected skin. By looking at this scale under a microscope, the dermatologist can see if this is indeed tinea versicolor. Another way to confirm is to look at the skin with a special device called a Wood's lamp. The dermatologist will hold the Wood's lamp about 4 or 5 inches from the affected skin. If the patient has tinea versicolor, the affected skin appears yellowish green in color. How is it treated? Prescribing treatment, a dermatologist considers several things. These include where tinea versicolor appears on the body, the severity, the weather, and the patient's wishes. Treatment for tinea versicolor may include topical medications. Medicated shampoo, soaps, creams, and lotions are frequently used to treat tinea versicolor. The active ingredient in this medication is usually selenium sulfide. So sorry for that pronunciation. God, this is going to be a lot of words I can't pronounce. Ketoconazole or pyrithione zinc. Here, I will just show it to make it. It's at the bottom. Medicated cleansers. Tinea versicolor frequently returns when it's warm and humid outdoors. Using a medicated cleanser once or twice a month, especially during warm and humid periods, can help. Oral, taken by mouth medications. So basically that's what she prescribed me, a topical, and then the medication, like orally, which was the yeast pill. I think the yeast pill works the best, honestly. But she said mine was real bad, so that's why she gave it to me. Yeah, it's here we go. If the infection is severe, covers a large area of your body, or frequently returns, a dermatologist may prescribe antifungal pills due to the possible side effects and interactions with other medications. A dermatologist will closely supervise a patient who is taking the medication. I wasn't closely supervised, but it's fine. I'm here. I'm well. It's all good. Although the yeast is easy to kill, it can take weeks or months for the skin to return to its normal color. Just because the pigment may be lighter does not mean the fungal infection is still present. The skin just needs some time for incidental sun exposure to stimulate pigment production. Maybe that's what happened to me. I need the sun to stimulate where it was pale from it, so it'll be all one color again, like how it used to be. Protecting the skin from the sun and not tanning will help the skin tone even out more quickly by preventing increased darkening of the uninfected skin. If you live in a warm and humid area, your dermatologist can give you more tips to help prevent tinea versicolor from returning. So that's pretty much the brochure. I would just say, if you have it, go to a dermatologist, because if I didn't go, it would still probably be really bad on my skin. And this cream will definitely probably help, and the yeast pills really did help a lot. And she actually told me what it was able to answer all my questions about it. She told me how to treat it. Obviously, like I said, you can't cure it, but you can treat it. She told me to wear a lot of sunscreen. She said to wear a lot of sunscreen, especially on the affected area. Don't eat yeast, wheat, gluten, etc. No sugar, alcohol. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope this helped. This is my part 2 updated version. Hopefully this answers the questions from the previous video, but hopefully it helped.